everybody, it's that time of year, isn't it? Christmas time. I really love this season and all of the nostalgic, sentimental tunes that go along with it. One of my favourites is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, specifically Ted Greene's beautiful arrangement of it. So that's what we're going to learn today, in honour of the great man himself, the master of chord melody, the chord chemist. We're in the key of A, and we're going to start off on the 1 chord using this A major chord shape. No need to bar, we're going to keep it nice and nimble. Then we're going to the 6th chord, this F sharp minor 7, which we're going to play this way. And then we have the 2 chord, B minor 11, before going to the 5, E7. Now already it's really worth mentioning that we have to keep notes ringing and alive for as long as possible. For example, the B minor 11. Try and keep as much of this active as you can. And then for the E7, this is a nice little trick. I've mentioned this in other videos. Taking the major triad built off the flat 7 itself, so the D major triad with a low E in the bass, and then moving up to 2 notes here from your actual E major triad, the 3rd and the 5th. So we've had a 1, 6, 2, 5 so far. Now we're heading back to the 1. We're going to go to the A major here, part of your G shape from the caged system, of course. And then we go to the 3 chord, C sharp minor 7. And we're grabbing this A note on top, which can be a little tricky. Again, it's that trick where you've got to bar from the final knuckle joint of the finger, like on those minor 7ths on the top 4 strings. This time we're playing C sharp minor 7, but with that knuckle barring to grab the 5th fret on top. And then we play a D add 9, a beautifully simple voicing that I associate very much with Ted Greene. D major triad with the 9 on top. I'm sure you've played this thousands of times, down in open position as a C add 9. Of course, now all we're doing is moving that C shape up 2 frets to D add 9. Now we play the 5 chord, E7, and we're putting a 9 in there as well, so E7 or E9, another great voicing. Learn a Ted Greene chord melody and you'll come out the other side with more voicings than you can shake a stick at. Your chord library will have expanded tenfold, and suddenly you'll have all of these new shapes and ideas you want to throw in everywhere on your chord melodies. It's very inspiring. Now heading back onto the A chord, we're going to employ a bit of counterpoint harmony, which is something that was near and dear to Ted Greene's heart. He was the master of this. He studied J.S. Bach deeply to figure out how he would approach harmony, and this brings in that element in a very tasteful and minimal way. So if we track the 2 extremes of that melody there to figure out what counterpoint is all about, in the bass, simply descending an A major scale, and in the top we're ascending the melody, which happens to be an A major chord, the 3rd, the 5th, the root, and the 3rd. Put the 2 together, fill in the middle voice a little bit, and you've got yourself a beautiful counterpoint harmony line reminiscent of Ted Greene and J.S. Bach. And then we play this great voicing for the B7 chord. It's like a spread triad in first inversion. So you think in B major, you've got the 3rd, the root, and the 5th. Root on top, move on to the flat 7 and descend the scale there. So like a B mixolydian or E major scale. The root, the flat 7, the 6th, and the 5th. Again, the tricky thing here is keeping the rest of your chord alive while you dance the melody around on top. Now we're going on to an E7, but we're going to put the 5th in the bass, and then move that down a whole tone to D7 with the 5th in the bass, and then move down a semitone further to C sharp 7 with the 5th in the bass, before going on to a C9 with the 5th in the bass, and then moving that down a semitone to B9 with the 5th in the bass, before going to an E7 with a sus4 in it, which you can think of as like an A major triad on the top, resolving back to the E. We've got the flat 7 in the middle there. That turnaround is like a 3-6-2-5 kind of sound. 3-6-2-5-1 in A. As you'll know if you've seen my little turnarounds video, a 3-6-2-5 progression starts out life as a 1-6-2-5 progression, where the 1 has been subbed for the 3. The 3 is then turned dominant to make it the 5 of 6. The 6 is turned dominant to make it the 5 of 2. 2 is turned dominant to make it the 5 of 5, and then the 5 is always dominant. So you end up with this dominant chord cycle of fourths. Makes it sound that little bit more bluesy. Now to take it the one step further, if you tritone sub the F sharp 7, you'll get C7. And that's pretty much what we're doing here. Resolving back to A. Now we're starting off with a very similar sequence to the one we opened with. You've got the 1, the 6. This time we're going for a different voicing for that F sharp minor 7. Last time we went up here, this time we're going off the low E string and playing this fairly tricky voicing, where you've got a power chord down low, then you're killing the D string, but you're getting the G string and the B string and the top E. That little finger has to get a bit of a workout. So there's your F sharp minor 7. B minor 11, instead of playing it here this time, we're playing it in open position, getting this open E string involved. E7. Again, that sus4 thing. I think of that as a bit of a Bach thing as well. He used to put the triad of the 4 on top, but with the root of the 5 in the bass. Sounds really nice, especially if you then go on and incorporate the flat 7 in the middle. Resolves back to the A major beautifully. Then again we play the 1, the 3, with this 5th fret up on top again. Now instead of playing D add 9 here, we're going to play a D major 9 here. From the A string down, frets 5, 7, 6, 5. Then again a bit more of that Bach-like influence here on the E7. Ending up on this E7 voicing, and then the same counterpoint line as before. This time, C sharp 7. We're just grabbing this little 3-note voicing, and then putting this 4th fret on top. And then we're going to reuse that F sharp minor 3-note voicing, that spread triad that we had in the counterpoint just now, before going on to an A7. This is a great voicing, both of them are. Then we're going into what I'm calling the bridge, or the B section of the tune. We go to the 4 chord, D major, 4 minor. Both of those have that major 7 on top. It's a bit of a stretch. And then we go on to this beautiful A major 7th chord, C diminished, B minor 7, E7. One of my favourite voicings, E7 with a sharp 5, and then resolve to A. This is a great voicing for an A major 9. It's got the 7, the 9 and the 3rd in it. Looks a bit like an E6 chord, but with the open A string instead of the E. So you're getting that really nice little 2-5-1 there. 2, 5, 1. Now one of my favourite moments in this piece, this really crunchy moment. We've got a D sharp 7 altered chord, which if we look at it through a microscope, you've got the D sharp 7, sharp 9, flat 5, and then a G sharp 7 altered chord, which would be a 13 with a flat 9. These are kinds of chords I've spoken about quite a bit in my videos. Then we have a couple of little notes in the melody before resolving to a C sharp minor spread triad. Follow the melody through. Then an A minor 6 voicing with the minor 3rd in the bass. Beautiful voicing again. Flat 3, root, 5th, 6th. Then an E major with the 5th in the bass. Grabbing that top string there. Again, trying to keep as much of the chord alive as possible. Really tests how nimble you can be with your fingers, this stuff. It's all about elegance and finesse. Now we're grabbing a B7 with a flat 7 in the bass, before grabbing a B minor 11, and then the E7. Again, a nice little 2-5-1 back to the A chord. Now we're on the final A section. Got that tricky little F sharp minor 7 again. B minor 11, we're back in open position. use the same E7 trick from earlier, D major triad, moving up to the E, A major, to the 3 chord, to the D add 9, E7 arpeggio, letting it ring as we go. Bit of counterpoint again, but taking a different direction here. You've still got these 2 elements, but instead of getting the F sharp minor here, we move this note onto the D string. Still a spread triad, but it gives us the ability to grab the next note of the melody in position here. Then we go on to one of the most beautifully tender moments in the thing. You've got a D minor spread triad with the root up on top. Follow the melody down and through the chord. Then C sharp 7, 3rd, root, 5, flat 7. Brilliant voicing again. Then F sharp minor, a good old bar chord. And then A7, playing this really nice way. You've got the 2nd finger barring both the A and D strings at the 7th fret, major 3rd, flat 7, major 3rd. Then the refrain of the melody, D major 7, with that little stretch in there before going to a C sharp minor 11, then a 2-5, a B minor 7 that is. Well, B minor 9, sorry. A bit of counterpoint again on the middle strings here, sort of implying B7 for a moment before going to E7 with the sharp 5 again. And then if you want to finish the easy way, at this point you could just resolve to this A major chord. Root, 9, 3, root. But if you want the tough option, there's this great little run of chords he plays at the end, where once you've done your 2-5, we're going to go to the C major 13. Nice stretchy voicing. And then once we've played that, we go to this F major 7 with the C in the bass as well as the root, so that's the 5th and the root both down on these 2 thick strings, barring with the tip of the 2nd finger again. And then a B flat major 13. A 6-9. It's really tough, that last run. So there we go. What a master Ted Greene was. Incredible. If you've not been down a Ted Greene YouTube rabbit hole, I would highly recommend doing so, especially over the Christmas period. There's no better time to do it. There's so many incredible videos of him teaching on there, videos that his students filmed of private lessons, as well as guitar clinics and seminars. The man was a genius. There's no 2 ways about it. Also, make sure to check out Tim Lurch. I'm sure you're familiar with him already, but he's one of my favorite guitar players on the planet, and he has a really amazing YouTube channel. It's such a good learning resource, and he teaches a lot of Ted Greene material as well. And he's released a couple of really good books on chord melody guitar playing. So again, I'll link to his channel in the description. But yeah, do spend some time with Ted Greene and Tim Lurch. You're sure to come out the other side a better guitar player, and maybe even a better human being as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody, from my Patreon subscribers who help support the work I do, to my YouTube viewers who tune into these videos and leave a comment and a like. The support from all of you guys has been truly mind-blowing, and I'm indebted to you forever, and I will keep trying to repay you with good lessons and good content for the foreseeable future. And I hope you all have an amazing Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, take care guys, and I'll see you soon.